Welcome back to our channel, my dear friends. Today, we are going to talk about something that can completely change the way you understand people and yourself. Our topic is the laws of human nature. Have you ever trusted someone and later discovered that they were completely different from what you thought? Have you ever wondered why some people become jealous when you succeed? Why do people lie? Why do people become angry over small things? Why do some people treat you well when they need you, but disappear when you need them? And why do we sometimes make decisions that we later regret? To understand these things, you need to understand human nature. Human nature is about the feelings, desires, fears, habits, and behaviors that influence the way people act. People do not always say what they truly feel. A smile can hide jealousy. Confidence can hide insecurity. Anger can hide pain. Kind words can sometimes hide selfish intentions. And sometimes, even we do not fully understand why we behave the way we do. That is why understanding human nature is so powerful. It can help you understand people without judging them too quickly. It can help you recognize unhealthy behavior before it hurts you. It can help you control your emotions instead of becoming controlled by them. And most importantly, it can help you understand yourself. But remember, the purpose of understanding human nature is not to manipulate people. It is to become wiser when dealing with people and more aware of yourself. Because when you understand human behavior, you stop taking everything personally. You observe more. You react less. You choose people more carefully, and you protect your peace. So stay with me until the end, because after understanding these lessons, you may start seeing people and yourself in a completely different way. Let's begin. Lesson 1. People are controlled by emotions more than they realize. The first law of human nature is very important to understand. People often believe they are making logical decisions, but emotions have a powerful effect on their choices. Think about your own life. Have you ever said something in anger and regretted it later? Have you ever bought something because you were excited, even though you did not really need it? Have you ever trusted someone because you liked them, even when there were signs telling you to be careful? This happens because emotions can become stronger than clear thinking. Anger says, answer immediately. Fear says, run away. Jealousy says, why does that person have more than me? Pride says, I cannot admit that I was wrong. Excitement says, do it right now. When emotions become strong, people often stop thinking about what will happen next. That is why one emotional moment can create a problem that lasts for years. A person can destroy a relationship with one angry sentence. Someone can leave a good opportunity because of temporary frustration. Someone can spend money they cannot afford because they want to impress others. Someone can make a bad decision because they are afraid of being alone. The emotion may disappear after a few hours, but the result of the decision can remain. This is why emotional control is such an important life skill. It does not mean you should stop feeling emotions. You are human. You will feel anger. You will feel fear. You will feel excitement. You may feel jealous sometimes. You may feel hurt. The goal is not to remove these emotions. The goal is to understand them before you act on them. When you become angry, do not immediately send the message. Wait. When someone insults you, do not immediately fight back. Pause. When you are extremely excited about an opportunity, do not make a huge decision without thinking. Give yourself time. Ask yourself, am I making this decision because it is wise or because I am emotional right now? That question can save you from many mistakes. Another important part of human nature is that emotions can change the way we see people. When you really like someone, you may ignore their bad behavior. You make excuses for them. They didn't mean it. They will change. They are probably having a bad day. But when you dislike someone, you may do the opposite. Even when they do something good, you may search for a negative reason. This teaches us something important. Your feelings can change the way you see reality. That is why you should learn to separate feelings from facts. Suppose someone does not reply to your message. Your emotion may immediately say, "They are ignoring me." But what are the facts? Maybe they are working. Maybe their phone is away. Maybe they are dealing with a problem. You do not know yet. A wise person does not create a complete story without enough information. They wait for the facts. This also helps you understand other people. When someone becomes angry, do not always look only at their words. Ask yourself, what emotion might be behind this? Sometimes anger hides fear. Sometimes arrogance hides insecurity. Sometimes silence hides sadness. Sometimes someone who constantly wants attention may simply want to feel important. Understanding this does not mean accepting bad behavior. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, you should still protect yourself and set boundaries. Understanding someone's behavior and accepting someone's behavior are two different things. You can understand why someone is angry and still say, "You cannot speak to me like that." That is emotional maturity. The most powerful part of this lesson, however, is not understanding everyone else. It is understanding yourself. Start watching your own emotions. Notice what makes you angry. Notice what makes you jealous. Notice what makes you afraid. Notice when your pride becomes too strong. Notice when you desperately want someone's approval. Do not judge yourself. Observe yourself. Because when you can see your emotional patterns, you can begin changing them. Imagine someone criticizes you. Your first reaction may be anger. But instead of reacting immediately, you pause and ask, "Why did this hurt me so much?" Maybe part of you is afraid that the criticism is true. Maybe you feel disrespected. Maybe it reminds you of something from your past. Understanding the emotion gives you more control over your response. This is where real strength begins. A strong person is not someone who never feels angry. A strong person can feel anger and still choose their words carefully. A strong person can feel fear and still do what needs to be done. A strong person can feel jealousy and turn it into motivation instead of hate. A strong person can feel hurt without trying to hurt someone else. That is emotional intelligence. So the next time you feel a powerful emotion, remember these three simple words. Pause, observe, choose. Pause before reacting. Observe what you are feeling. Then choose the response that protects your future. The person who controls your emotions can often control your behavior. So do not give that power away easily. Learn yourself. Understand yourself. Control your response. Always remember, your emotions are important messengers, but they should not always become your decision makers. Feel your emotions, understand them, and then let wisdom decide what you do next. Lesson 2. People want to feel important. One powerful law of human nature is this. Almost everyone wants to feel important, respected, and valued. People may be very different from each other. They may have different jobs, different dreams, and different personalities. But deep inside, most people want to feel that they matter. They want their work to be noticed. They want their ideas to be heard. They want their efforts to be appreciated. They want to feel respected. This simple need explains a lot about human behavior. Think about what happens when someone speaks but nobody listens. They may feel ignored. Think about an employee who works hard for months but never receives appreciation. Slowly, that person may lose motivation. Think about a child who does something good and hears, "I am proud of you." Those few words can stay in their heart for years. Why? Because appreciation makes people feel seen. This is why one of the best ways to build strong relationships is to make people feel valued. When someone is speaking, listen carefully. Do not only wait for your turn to speak. Look at them. Try to understand what they are saying. Ask simple questions. Show real interest. Sometimes, giving someone your full attention is more powerful than giving them advice. Another important habit is to appreciate people honestly. If someone helps you, say, "I really appreciate your help." If someone does good work, tell them, "You did a great job." If someone has improved, notice it. You do not need to give fake compliments. People can often feel when praise is not real. Look for something honest that you respect. A few sincere words can completely change someone's day. But there is another side to this law. Because people want to feel important, some people become too dependent on attention and approval. They want everyone to admire them. They want to be the center of every conversation. They become upset when someone else receives praise. They constantly compare themselves with others. This can create jealousy, competition, and unnecessary conflict. Social media can make this even stronger. People see someone else's beautiful house, successful career, expensive car, perfect vacation, or happy relationship. Then they compare that small picture with their entire life. They begin thinking, "Why don't I have that?" But remember, you are usually seeing only a small part of someone's life. You see the photo. You do not see the problems behind it. You see the success. You do not see the years of struggle. You see the smile. You do not know what that person feels when the camera is off. Do not build your self-worth by comparing yourself with someone else's highlight. Another important lesson is to understand what happens when someone's ego feels attacked. Suppose you tell someone, "You are completely wrong. You don't know anything." Even if your idea is correct, they may stop listening. Why? Because they no longer feel that you are discussing an idea. They feel that you are attacking them. A better way may be, "I understand your point, but I see it differently." Then explain your idea calmly. Respect opens people's minds. Humiliation often closes them. This does not mean you should agree with everyone. You can disagree. You can say no. You can correct someone. You can protect your boundaries. But you can do these things without trying to destroy someone's dignity. That is a powerful social skill. You should also understand this law when dealing with difficult people. Sometimes, a person who constantly talks about themselves is looking for importance. Someone who always tries to prove they are better may actually feel insecure inside. Someone who becomes jealous of your success may be comparing your progress with their own life. Understanding this can help you stop taking every behavior personally. But understanding does not mean allowing disrespect. If someone repeatedly insults you, controls you, or treats you badly, you do not need to stay close just because you understand their insecurity. You can understand a person and still create distance. The biggest lesson, however, is about your own need to feel important. Ask yourself, how much of my happiness depends on other people's approval? Do you need people to praise you before you feel successful? Do you feel bad when someone does not notice your work? Do you change yourself because you desperately want people to like you? Be careful. If your self-worth depends completely on other people's opinions, your emotions will always be in their hands. Learn to appreciate yourself too. Be proud when you keep a promise to yourself. Be proud when you improve. Be proud when you choose discipline. Be proud when you do the right thing, even when nobody is watching. Not every good thing you do needs applause. Some of your greatest growth will happen quietly. Nobody will see the early mornings. Nobody will see the hours of practice. Nobody will see the difficult choices. Keep going anyway. You do not need to prove your value to everyone. At the same time, remember that the people around you also want to feel valued. So give respect, listen carefully, appreciate honestly, notice people's efforts, but do not lose yourself while trying to receive the same attention in return. Always remember, people may forget many things you say, but they often remember how you made them feel. Make people feel respected and valued, but never depend on their approval to know your own worth. Lesson 3. People often hide their true intentions. One important law of human nature is this: people do not always show you exactly what they think or want. Sometimes people hide their real feelings because they are afraid of rejection. Sometimes they want to protect themselves. And sometimes they may want something from you. This is why you should not judge people only by their words. Watch their actions. Someone may say, "I am always here for you." But when you actually need help, they disappear. Someone may say, "I am happy for your success." But their behavior changes when you start doing better. Someone may promise you something again and again, but never keep that promise. Words are easy. Patterns are harder to fake. This does not mean you should become suspicious of everyone. If you believe that everyone is dishonest, you will destroy good relationships too. Instead, become observant. Listen to what people say, but also notice what they repeatedly do. If someone's words and actions match, trust can slowly grow. If their words say one thing but their behavior repeatedly shows something different, pay attention. Another important thing is to watch how people treat others. A person may be extremely kind to you because they want something from you. But how do they treat people who cannot give them anything? How do they treat workers? How do they speak about their friends when those friends are not there? How do they behave when they are angry? These moments can tell you a lot about someone's character. Also remember that people reveal themselves over time. You do not need to understand someone's entire personality after meeting them once. Give relationships time. Observe patterns. Do not rush to trust someone completely just because they were kind to you for one day. Trust should grow slowly through consistent behavior. And this lesson applies to you too. Ask yourself, do my actions match my words? If you say you value honesty, be honest. If you say you care about someone, show it. If you make a promise, try your best to keep it. Your character is not what you tell people you are. Your character is what your repeated actions show. So become a person whose words and actions match. And when understanding others, remember, do not judge people too quickly, but do not ignore repeated patterns either. Listen to words, watch actions, and let time reveal the truth. Lesson 4. People see the world through their own experience. One important law of human nature is this: people do not see everything in exactly the same way. Two people can experience the same situation and understand it completely differently. Why? Because everyone carries their own past, beliefs, fears, expectations, and experiences. For example, you may give someone advice because you want to help them, but they may think you are criticizing them. You may stay quiet because you are tired. Someone else may think you are angry. You may say no because you are busy. The other person may believe you do not care about them. This teaches us something important. What you mean and what another person understands are not always the same thing. That is why we should not react too quickly. Before becoming angry, try to understand the situation. Ask yourself, could there be another explanation? Am I looking at the facts, or am I only following my feelings? Sometimes, one small misunderstanding becomes a big argument because both people believe their own view is the complete truth. Good communication can prevent this. If you do not understand someone's behavior, ask calmly. Instead of saying, "You don't care about me," say, "I felt ignored. Is something wrong?" Instead of immediately attacking someone, give them a chance to explain. This does not mean you should ignore bad behavior. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, lies to you, or crosses your boundaries, pay attention to that pattern. Understanding someone's point of view does not mean accepting everything they do. Another important lesson is to stop expecting everyone to think like you. Something that is important to you may not be equally important to someone else. Something you find easy may be difficult for another person. Something that hurts you may not hurt them in the same way. People are different. When you understand this, you become more patient. You listen before judging. You ask before assuming. And you stop taking every small action personally. This lesson also helps you understand yourself. Sometimes your past can change the way you see a present situation. If someone hurt you before, you may find it difficult to trust a new person. If you failed before, you may expect yourself to fail again. But your past experience is not always a perfect prediction of what will happen next. Learn to separate the past from the present. Always remember, people see life through their own experiences. Listen before judging, understand before reacting, and never assume that your view is the only possible view. Lesson 5. People naturally compare themselves with others. One powerful law of human nature is this: people naturally compare themselves with other people. We compare money. We compare success. We compare looks. We compare relationships. We compare jobs, houses, skills, and lifestyles. A little comparison can sometimes motivate you. You see someone doing well and think, if they can improve, maybe I can improve too. But too much comparison can become dangerous. You may start looking at someone else's success and feeling bad about your own life. You see someone earning more money and suddenly feel unsuccessful. You see someone with a better body and feel unhappy with yourself. You see someone's beautiful life on social media and think, why is my life not like that? But remember, you are comparing your complete life with a small part of theirs. You see their success, but you may not see their struggle. You see the result, but you do not see the years of work behind it. You see the smile, but you do not know what happens when nobody is watching. That is why comparison can easily steal your happiness. Comparison can also create jealousy. Sometimes, people are happy with you while you are at the same level as them. But when you start improving, earning more, becoming confident, or getting attention, their behavior may change. Do not immediately hate them. Jealousy is a human emotion, and almost everyone can feel it sometimes. The important question is what we do with that feeling. You can turn jealousy into negativity. Why do they have it? Or you can turn it into curiosity. What can I learn from them? That small change can make jealousy useful. Instead of becoming angry at someone's success, study it. Maybe their discipline can teach you something. Maybe their mistakes can save you time. Maybe their success can show you what is possible. And when you become successful, stay humble. Do not use your success to make others feel small. You do not need to prove that you are better than everyone. Your real competition should be with the person you were yesterday. Ask yourself, am I becoming wiser? Am I becoming stronger? Am I making better choices? That is a healthier comparison. Always remember, someone else's success does not reduce your chance of success. Stop measuring your life against everyone around you. Learn from people, improve yourself, and focus on becoming better than you were yesterday. Lesson 6. People protect their ego. Another powerful law of human nature is this: people do not like feeling wrong, weak, or embarrassed. This is because everyone has an ego. Ego is the part of us that wants to feel respected, important, and correct. That is why some people find it very difficult to say, I was wrong, I made a mistake, you were right. Sometimes people will keep arguing even when they know they are wrong because admitting the truth hurts their pride. You may have seen this in real life. Two people start with a small disagreement. Then both want to win. Nobody wants to say sorry. The problem becomes bigger and bigger. At that point, the argument is no longer about the real issue. It is about ego. This is why you should be careful when correcting people. If you attack someone's pride, they may stop listening completely. Instead of saying, you are completely wrong, you can say, I understand your point, but maybe we can look at it another way. This does not make you weak. It makes you wise. Respect helps people listen. Humiliation usually makes people defend themselves. But this lesson is not only about other people. You must also watch your own ego. Can you admit when you are wrong? Can you say sorry without making excuses? Can you accept advice? Can you learn from someone younger, less experienced, or different from you? A strong person does not need to be right all the time. A strong person can say, I was wrong and I learned something. That is real confidence. Your ego may also make you compare, compete, or try to prove yourself. You may feel the need to show people that you are better, smarter, richer, or more successful. But when you truly know your value, you do not need to prove it every day. You can stay calm. You can listen. You can learn. You can let someone else have attention without feeling smaller. That is emotional maturity. Always remember, ego wants to win every argument. Wisdom wants to understand. Learn to control your ego, and you will protect your relationships, your peace, and your growth. Lesson 7. People reveal themselves through patterns. One important law of human nature is this: people may hide the truth for a while, but patterns usually reveal who they are. One good day does not always mean someone has good character. One bad day does not always mean someone is a bad person. What matters most is what they do again and again. If someone keeps making promises but never keeps them, notice the pattern. If someone is kind only when they need something, notice the pattern. If someone says sorry but repeats the same hurtful behavior, notice the pattern. If someone respects you even when they are angry, notice that too. Patterns are more honest than words. This does not mean you should judge people too quickly. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has difficult days. But repeated behavior gives you important information. Do not ignore what keeps happening just because you like someone's words. Also, pay attention to how someone behaves when they do not get what they want. Do they stay respectful? Do they become rude? Do they blame everyone? Do they accept responsibility? These moments often show real character. You should also look at your own patterns. Do you keep delaying important work? Do you keep trusting the same type of harmful person? Do you keep reacting in anger? Do you keep making the same promise and breaking it? If the same problem keeps returning, do not only look at the situation, look at the pattern. Ask yourself, what am I repeating? That question can change your life. Human nature becomes easier to understand when you stop focusing only on one moment and start looking at what happens again and again. Words can impress you for a moment, but patterns tell the deeper story. Watch repeated behavior, trust consistency, and also be honest about the patterns in your own life. My dear friends, understanding human nature is not about judging or controlling people. It is about becoming wiser, calmer, and more aware. Watch actions, understand emotions, notice patterns, and most importantly, understand yourself. The better you understand human nature, the better you can handle people, protect your peace, and make wiser decisions. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more powerful lessons. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.